episode 4 of Fist of the North Star 1 point. The key word for this episode is going to be heart. Heart is the name of Kenshiro's main opponent in this episode. But the key word for this episode is also heart for a different reason. Because this episode is quite special in the sense that a certain specific scene happens for the first time here and is repeated several times in this first part of this anime. The scene in question is Shin complaining about Yuria not opening her heart to him. What I will argue in this video is that Yuria doesn't open her heart, give her heart, we may say, to Shin, because Shin has the wrong idea about what a heart is. And basically the wrong idea that he has is what the character named Heart represents. Now, the character called Heart is a big, strong guy who looks gentle in the beginning of this episode, who seems to speak in a very gentle way. In the beginning of the episode, his men mistreat a poor barman, and then Heart comes and tells him to leave him alone, and tells the guy that if he needs anything, if he has any issue, that he should find him and that he would help him. Now, he seems to be quite kind, but then only by accident he bleeds a little bit, his hand bleeds, and he just goes nuts and destroys everything around him, including his men. So his gentleness obviously is merely a facade. So I will argue that represents Shin's delusion. Shin in reality knows what a real heart is because he loves Yuria, and he loves Yuria's heart, which is a real gentle heart. You know, Yuria kind of embodies this. She embodies feminine energy, as we mentioned this before, love, compassion, and so on. So Shin gets this, but then he hides this real truth, as we talked before too, about the fact that evil people only see what's in front of them, like the present, and they don't invest for the future. That's what we talked about in the second video. They only look at what is right in front of them, and so Shin only sees the superficial character of a heart, and it's just being gentle, which Yuria is, and he's kind of being gentle by offering Yuria precious stones and dresses and so on, but Yuria wants real kindness, a real heart, and she sees that, of course, in Kenshiro. She says, for example, that she wants eyes that you can see endless season. I mean, she's pretty romantic when you think about it, and Shin doesn't understand those because he's an evil character. Now, but Shin also has the right intuition concerning what a real heart is because he loves Yuria, and Kenshiro kind of expresses that by saying that Shin and himself love the same woman, which is quite interesting, by the way. But Shin kind of represses this idea of a real heart, kind of on purpose, because he wants to believe that he can get whatever he wants with power, which he does in this episode and in the next episodes of the anime. Otherwise, he would just have to accept that Yuria loves another man, and this is basically Shin's corruption and lying to himself and getting to be this evil character. So this is the cool thing in this episode, that we have this comparison between a real, gentle, kind heart and a fake heart, only gentle in appearance. I should really find a way of concluding these videos.